All right, good afternoon. We're convening the Committee on Water, Land, and Culture and the Arts here in the Senate in State Capitol Conference Room 224. On our 1 p.m. agenda, we have a number of governor's messages, nominees who are up this afternoon. We do have a number of testifiers signed up, so we'll be asking everyone to limit their testimony to 1 minute so we can make sure we can get through everybody who would wish to share thoughts. The way we'll approach this, for those who are in the room with us, we'll be going through one at a time in the order that's laid out on the agenda. We'll ask testifiers to come up and testify, and for those nominees who are with us, we'll then call you up after that to say a few words if you wish. So that said, why don't we begin with GM 641, submitting for consideration and confirmation to the Game Management Advisory Commission, gubernatorial nominee Elroy Moreno for a term to expire 6/30/2029. And testifying first is DLNR.
Hello, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee. Nicholas Vargas with DLNR, Forestry and Wildlife. We stand on our written testimony in full support. I'm here for any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's everyone who had signed up to testify on GM 641. Is there anyone else wishing to testify? Seeing none. Are there any questions? Seeing none, and I don't believe Mr. Moreno. Oh, he is. Good afternoon on Zoom.
Good afternoon.
If there's anything you'd like to share, please feel free to take a moment and go ahead.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for this opportunity. Us guys on Molokai, we definitely, all islands are surrounded by a body of water, so we just gotta manage what we got on island. And for me, it's just, I just want to be the voice, have a voice for our people over here.
All right, thank you. Any questions from the nominee? If not, thank you very much. All right, let's move on to the next GM 642, submitting for consideration and confirmation to the Game Management Advisory Commission, gubernatorial nominee Richard First for a term to expire 6/30/2029. And testifying first is DLNR.
Hello, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee. Nicholas Vargas with DLNR, Forestry and Wildlife. We stand on our written testimony in full support.
Thank you.
If any questions.
That's everyone who had signed up to testify on this nominee. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on GM 642? Seeing none. IT, is there anyone online with us?
No one online, Chair.
Okay. Let's see. Is Mr. First? Oh, please come forward. Sorry, I don't have the faces and names tied together here.
No problem.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Chair. How are you?
You're good.
Good. My name is Richard First. I am the interim commissioner for the GMAC for the island of Oahu, here for you for nomination hearing. Provided responses to your office's questions in writing last week, and happy to answer any questions that you might have about my background or goals for the commission.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for Mr. First? Seeing none, thank you. I just say thanks for volunteering. These things aren't very, they can be time consuming, and appreciate, I think, for everyone who's showing up here, the time put into some of this stuff. So appreciate that.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to GM 703, submitting for consideration and confirmation of the Game Management Advisory Committee, gubernatorial nominee Stephen DeWald for a term to expire 6/30/2030. And testifying is DLNR.
Hello, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee. Nicholas Vargas with DLNR, Forestry and Wildlife. Standing on our written testimony in full support. Here for any questions.
Thank you. That's everyone who had signed up on GM 703. Is there anyone else wishing to testify? Seeing none, I see Mr. DeWald online. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you folks?
Very good. Please proceed.
I just wanted to say, thank you for the opportunity. I've been a hunter for a long time, and I just want to really try to create a bridge, between the community and the DLNR, and just really help keep things moving in a positive direction for everybody.
All right, thank you very much. Are there any questions for Mr. DeWald? Thank you. Seeing none, thanks very much.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to GM 683, submitting for consideration and confirmation to the Hawaii Historic Places Review Board, gubernatorial nominee Noah Dolan for a term to expire 6/30/2030. And testifying first on GM 683 is DLNR. Good afternoon.
Chair, Vice Chair, Senator Chang. My name is Jessica Puff. I'm the Administrator of the State Historic Preservation Division. We stand on our comments and our comments in support of this candidate for the Hawaii Historic Places Review Board. Mr. Dolan is engaged in the community. Both his academic and professional experience evidence that he is well qualified to serve as a member on the Hawaii Historic Places Review Board, and we strongly support his nomination. Thank you.
Thank you. We have written testimony, but that's everyone who had signed up to testify on GM 683. Is there anyone else wishing to testify this afternoon? Seeing none. Any questions? All right, seeing none. Let's go to the nominee online. Good afternoon.
Aloha. I wanted to say thank you again for having me, giving me the opportunity to serve in this capacity for our community. No other statements.
Oh, sorry, you're breaking up just a little bit there. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, there, so much better.
Okay. Thank you again for the opportunity to serve the community. That's all I have to say.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, are there any questions for the nominee? See,
I'll ask a
Yeah.
question. Thank you for your willingness to serve in this capacity. I'm of the opinion that Hawaii doesn't do enough to recognize its historic places. Do you have any ideas for what you think that the board or the division could do better to help commemorate the history of our state?
One thing that I wrote in my written statement is maybe better education for the people living in Hawaii, knowing that this is an opportunity that they have if they want to be more involved in the process of nominating certain places or sites. I think maybe just not a lot of people know that this board even exists, or that it's even a possibility to protect these places, through our government. So I think there's more awareness in the community is kind of where I'm heading towards.
Thank you. Thank you.
okay. Any further questions? Seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to the next GM, GM 743, submitting for consideration and confirmation to the Hawaii Historic Places Review Board, gubernatorial nominee Graham Hart, for a term to expire 6/30/2030. Testifying first on GM 743 is DLNR.
Hello again, Jessica Pop, Administrator of SHPD. It's good to see you again so soon. Mr. Hart is an acting member of the Hawaii Historic Places Review Board. This nomination for reappointment is for his second term. He is an incredible member of the review board. His architectural, academic perspective has been incredibly useful for covering the board's business, and we strongly recommend his reappointment for his second term. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all the testimony we have on GM 743. Is there anyone else wishing to testify? Oh, please come forward. Oh, yeah, well, please come forward.
Yes, it's Mr. Hart, yes.
Seeing no one else. Good afternoon.
Afternoon. Yeah, my name is Graham Hart. Currently serving on the board. Have been for the past 4 years. It's been a pleasure and a joy to work with all of them, and I find it an absolute privilege to be able to partake in this opportunity and job.
Thank you.
Yeah, can I add? We thank you for your service this past years, and we're very pleased with the work you've done with CHIPTI as well, and you have just an outstanding background, and that's what we need in commissions as well. And so we're very pleased and thankful for committing to be able to serve another term, because it's pretty difficult, and I know it changes our lifestyle at work, at home, and we appreciate the support of the family that has been with you as well. So thank you, Mr. Chair, and good luck.
Senator Chang.
Thank you for your willingness to serve in this capacity. I'm actually an admirer of your work in mid-century modern architecture.
Oh, yeah.
But to follow up on my question to the previous nominee as well, I just don't think we do a really great job of recognizing our historic places. You travel to other places around the country, and there are plaques everywhere about, George Washington did this year or whatever. Or if you go to the city of London, one of my favorite parts are these blue plaques on buildings where it'll be like, the game of soccer was invented here, or John Adams lived here, or whatever. And we really don't have a lot of that here. Is there anything that we can do to help raise awareness of these historic structures?
Yeah, that's interesting. I absolutely agree with you. I think what I've noticed when I've traveled and gone to other cities as well, in other states, is that there's actually quite a many historic properties, individual sites, of course, that something significant happened. What I've seen in a lot of other cities do is that they have quite a few districts. I think we've got only a few historic districts, but there's some swaths of whole cities that are part of these different historic districts. And I think that gets everybody in that district a little bit of buy-off and a little bit of pride in their own history, and it's kind of less about the individual properties and individual property owners kind of stepping up and doing their own thing, but more about a collective kind of coming together and all celebrating what they're doing. And it's not so much onus on individuals having to, do the work, but it's kind of like, here's something that we can all share. And I think that's kind of a good strategy, it's kind of getting more people involved.
Unknown caller. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much. I just say, I think some of the projects and properties and things we've been involved with are quite impressive. But it's probably spurs a follow-on conversation in another time, maybe on a piece of legislation or something about really what could be done beyond what traditionally has been the realm of SHPT.
Yeah, just one more. Now, we've had difficulty filling positions, or we've had vacancies. And recently, in the last several years, we and the Senate as well, and the House, the legislature has been good in providing the resources for SHPT to, fill the vacancies. Do you feel comfortable now with the quorum that you folks have had? Is it okay now? Because at one time there were some instabilities as well, but it's okay now on your point of view, not coming from the
I
administration?
definitely think we have quite a few vacancies still, and I think we need to be able to fill them. I think we barely have quorum from my understanding.
Okay, well, can we have
Sorry.
come on down. Yes.
I think there's just not enough.
Well,
experts in the
reason
field.
I ask with this vacancies position is because our goal has been in housing for the last several years, and it's really critical at this point, because of what's happened in Lahaina, but it's affecting all of us in the different islands as well. So are we moving along?
I will say over the past probably 2 to 3 years now, we've maintained pretty consistent quorum with the Hawaii Historic Places Review Board. Like Graham said, we barely have enough members to meet quorum. We're working with the governor's office and boards and commissions to get applicants to the governor for appointment.
Are there positions currently
Yeah.
that's on the board right now for choices? Are there applicants already being screened?
Noah is the only person that we've seen the application for this year, since last ledge session. Like Graham said, our biggest issue right now is getting the word out that this board exists and that we need members and to
Okay.
convince people to apply to it.
Okay, well, it's the interruption of, the services that's out there that we must do our job, and, we've been very encouraged at this point because the legislature has been kind in giving the resources for the agencies. So, okay, I won't, extend this because there's a lot of work for us to do. But anyway, continue to do the good job you've been doing as well, and thank you for your service. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to the next governor's message, number 645, submitting for consideration and confirmation to the Kaneohe Bay Regional Council gubernatorial nominee Joseph Pickard for a term to expire 6/30/2029. And testifying first is DLNR. Good afternoon.
Aloha, Chair, Vice
Aloha.
Chair, Committee Member Charlie Taylor on behalf of DLNR's Division of Aquatic Resources. We stand in full support of nominee Joseph Pickard and are available for any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's everyone who had signed up to testify. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on GM 645? Seeing none, is the nominee with us online?
Not present on Zoom, Chair.
Okay. All right. Are there any questions for DLNR?
Yeah, just one more thing. Is this a re-up or new?
He was an interim member.
Oh, okay, he was nominated already last year then?
Correct.
Okay,
Started
but
in
need to be
July.
confirmed.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Let's move on to GM 646, submitting for consideration and confirmation to the Kaneohe Bay Regional Council gubernatorial nominee Jarrett Machado for a term to expire 6/30/2029. Testifying again is DLNR.
Chair, Vice Chair, Committee Member Charlie Taylor, DLNR. We stand in full support of Mr. Jarrett Machado for Kaneohe Bay Regional Council. Thank you.
Just a second.
Sure.
So, new hire,
He would be a
new
new-
appointee?
Correct, he is not
Okay,
interim.
not interim.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chair.
That's everyone who had signed up to testify on GM 646. Is there anyone else here wishing to testify? Seeing none, I believe our nominee is on Zoom. Good afternoon.
Oh, sorry, I'm unmuted now. Hi, how are you?
Is there anything you'd want to share?
No, I'm just happy to be a part of serving my community.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions for DLNR or the nominee? Seeing none. All right, you're off the hook. Thanks very much.
Thank you, good luck.
Thank you.
Up next is GM 647, submitting for consideration and confirmation to the Kaneohe Bay Regional Council gubernatorial nominee Elena Bryant for a term to expire 6/30/2029. First is DLNR again.
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chair, Charlie Taylor, DLNR. The department stands in full support of Ms. Elena Bryant for the Kaneohe Bay Regional Council. She is an interim at the moment.
Okay,
Correct, yeah, so she's currently serving in the interim role.
okay. So the interim is pretty much a new position, yeah?
Started in July of
Yes.
2025.
Okay, thank you.
That's everyone who signed up to testify. Is there anyone else wishing to testify this afternoon on GM 647? Seeing none, looks like our nominee is online. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Aloha, Charlie, Vice Chair Inoue, members of the committee. I just want to thank you for your consideration of my nomination to the Kaneohe Bay Regional Council. As I expressed in my written responses to your question, Senator Lee, Kaneohe Bay is a very special place to me, to my ohana, and to my community. And it was such an honor to have the kuleana of being public advocate for Kaneohe Bay as a member of the council during my first term. And I hope to have that opportunity to continue that work during the second term. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions? If not, thank you very much.
Thank you. Good luck.
Let's move on to GM 738, submitting for consideration and confirmation to the Ko'olave Island Reserve Commission gubernatorial nominee. Let me try not to butcher this. Kaipula. I'm usually really good at these.
Kaipulau makani o.
Yeah, Papahanaumokuakea. Yes, for term to expire 6/30/2030. Up first on 738 is Kirk.
Hello, Senators. Mike Nahalpi, Executive Director for the Kaho'olawe Island Reserve Commission. On behalf of the Commission, we'd like to stand in strong support of the nominee. This is his first appointment. He will be replacing another PKO commissioner who will be stepping down at the end of this fiscal year, Mikiela Piscaya. I have known the nominee since he was born, since his father and I. His father was a commissioner back starting in 2011, and I worked for him. And the two of us, his father and I, came up through the PKO as Mo'olono, training as Mo'olonos together in the early 90s. So I've known him a very long time, so thank you.
Thank you very much. Signed up next is Daviana McGregor with Protect Ko'olave Ohana. Good afternoon.
Excuse me, just one point. Okay, Kaipu is, where does he live? Maui or, Molokai? Or?
This island. Oahu.
Oahu.
I think,
Okay,
right?
so he's the Oahu.
Okay, I just gotta make sure, yeah.
Oh, okay, so he's the Oahu rep, in a sense.
Oh, we don't have an island rep, so
I know,
the
I
PKO,
know.
yeah, the PKO
Yes,
has
that-
3 seats,
it's-
yeah.
Yeah, the 3 seats.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Thank you, and mahalo.
Aloha kako, Daviana Pomeikai McGregor. I'm speaking on behalf of the Protect Ko'olave Ohana, and our Ohana, under the law, is able to nominate two persons for consideration for appointment by the governor, and one person's term has expired. She was from Molokai, and so Keipu Laumakani Olona will take her position and serve until June 30th. And I also know Kaipu since he was born. His mom's here too. And he's been coming to the island, more importantly, since 6 years old and taking on increasing more kuleana for the cultural sites, historic sites, for the conduct of the protocols for the protection of our sites and for the growth of the revegetation of the plants on the island. So we strongly recommend that he be confirmed. Mahalo nui loa.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here all the time in support of the commission. Yeah, we appreciate.
Up next on Zoom is Ku'ulealoha Onalani Saltzer. Good
Hello,
afternoon.
hello, my kako. My name is Ku'ulealoha
Aloha.
Saltzer. I'm just here to help offer my full support for the confirmation of Kipu Keala to serve as the commissioner for the Ko'olave Island Reserve Commission. I refer to my written testimony, which highlights the substantial qualities and qualifications. Mahalo nui.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's everyone who had signed up to testify. Is there anyone else wishing to testify this afternoon? All right, seeing none, we have our nominee, Kaipola Makani Olono Keala.
Yeah.
Did I get closer that time? Sorry.
Aloha. Aloha, Senator Lee, Senator Inoue, Senator Chang, all the staff in the back, mahalo to Executive Director Naho'opi'i and Ati Davey for urging me and encouraging me to come and serve in this capacity as a commissioner. And mahalo nui for trusting me. And I look forward to this important work. Very honored to be here.
Yes, thank you. It's heartening to hear and, having candidates in the commission participation in our state. And so we are very encouraged, for folks like you. And you're still going to college?
I'm finishing my PhD.
Good. Good for you. Congratulations. So, we appreciate, making time, for this position. And Chair, in all the years I've been here, every time we meet meet on Kaho'olawe Commission issues as well, all the time I'm saying, okay, when are we going to get time to go to Kaho'olawe? And we've been offered by, the group to please go. So Chair, I think we look forward to having a good weather and that you'll all host our committee, to visit. But thank you very much. But I do have a question for the director.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably more
Yes,
you go
thank
ahead.
you. And good luck.
Yeah.
And thank you so much. Okay, question is, and I know because as I always tell you folks, I'm on flight every week throughout the years, and I see Kaho'olawe all the time. And I'm so pleased with with what has been happening on the island, from when we took over, you all took over to, take it back and become part of our state islands. However, the last storm we had,
Yes.
and I know some of the buildings are up there and, all whatever the Kuleana did in doing their work in the landscaping and such. Any big damages or anything to be brought up to our attention?
As of last Wednesday, we had 24 inches of rain on the island that normally only gets 12
That's right.
to 18 inches in a good year. And we had that in 3 days. So I'm slowly getting reports in. I just had Kaipu, he had talked to his father, who is out in Hakuava. They said they saw a lot of mud. They're still kind of assessing. It's still wet. My base camp guys are still assessing what's happened. They just landed this morning. So I'm hoping to get some
So
assessments.
this is the first time that they're.
Yes, we've been back since the storm, yeah. We've been waiting till the weather kind of gets a little better, so I'm hoping to get some reports. We are on the south side, the camp is on the south side, so we got hit very hard. But the biggest problems we've been seeing is in Kihei. I was just talking to Senator McKelvey just before this, Kihei got hammered pretty bad. The South Kihei Road is broken in 4 places probably. And our boathouse is located.
I was just gonna say, that's
Yep.
where you guys are in the
Yes.
offices.
Yeah, we're kind of lucky. We're high enough elevation along the coastline that we're okay. I got reports from my guys that we had some mudslides and stuff like that in our property. We've cleared them out this morning. But the rest of Kihei is kind of digging themselves out right now, so they need the most help right
But the
now.
property that you're at.
We're okay.
With the boathouse and everything, it's okay.
Yeah, you're okay. Yeah.
Well, that's what we need to know because, we haven't closed the session yet and
Yeah.
we're concerned about our existing structures.
Yes.
For our agencies in, wherever they're located.
Yeah, I should have a report later
Okay.
this week, and then I'll send you guys an email with an
That'll be
update.
great, send it to the chair.
Yes.
But what about, you'll get the report for Kaho'olawe for the base camp and the structures?
Yes.
For Kaho'olawe?
Yes, for
later.
Kaho'olawe, yeah.
Send it to the chair then.
Yes, I will. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Senator.
All right, thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any further questions? Seeing none? Thank you. Let's move on to the last GM on our agenda, GM 651, submitting for consideration and confirmation to the King Kamehameha Celebration Commission, gubernatorial nominee Zachary Bantolina for a term to expire 6/30/2029. Don't believe we have testimony on that one. So that said, is there anyone wishing to testify on GM 651? Seeing none, okay. Why don't we go into a quick recess, so we can regroup here, and we'll be right back. Recess. Good afternoon. Reconvening the Committee on Water, Land, Culture, and the Arts on our 1 p.m. agenda here in State Capitol Conference Room 224 for decision-making on a number of governor's messages, as well as a second 1:05 p.m. agenda shortly afterward. Up first on the 1 p.m. agenda is Governor's Message 641, submitting for consideration and confirmation to the Game Management Advisory Commission. Elroy Molina for a term to expire 6/30/2029. Recommendation is to advise and consent. Are there any discussion, comments? Seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
For the Committee on Water, Land, Culture, and the Arts, Chair's recommendation on GM 641 is to advise and consent. Chair Lee.
Aye.
Vice Chair goes aye. Senator Chang.
Aye.
Senator Lumasao. Senator Decord.
Aye.
Measure is adopted, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Moving on to GM 642. Actually, if with your guys' indulgence, if you're all right, why don't we take all of the Game Management
Sure.
Advisory Commission recommendations together, the remaining ones. So it would be GM 642, submitting for consideration and confirmation to the Game Management Advisory Commission gubernatorial nominee Richard First for a term to expire 6/30/2029, as well as GM 703, submitting for consideration and confirmation to the Game Management Advisory Commission gubernatorial nominee Stephen DeWald for a term to expire 6/30/2030. Recommendation on both of those will be to advise and consent. There's no discussion. Vice Chair for the vote.
Chair's recommendation on GM 642 and GM 703 is to advise and consent with 5 members present. Any with opposition, any no votes, any reservations? Hearing none, measure is adopted. Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And similarly for the next 2 GMs, which are for the Hawaii Historic Places Review Board, if there's no objection, we'd like to take GM 683, submitting for consideration and confirmation to the Hawaii Historic Places Review Board gubernatorial nominee Noah Dolan for a term to expire 6/30/2030, as well as GM 743, submitting for consideration and confirmation to the Hawaii Historic Places Review Board gubernatorial nominee Graham Hart for a term to expire 6/30/2030. We'll take those together, and the recommendation for both will be to advise and consent. If there's no discussion, Vice Chair for the vote.
Okay, just correct me if I'm 683 and 743, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Chair's recommendation on GM 683 and GM 743 is to advise and consent. Any voting with 5 members present, any voting with reservations, any no votes. Measure is adopted, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Similarly, for the Kaneohe Bay Regional Council, if there's no objections, we'd like to take those 3 nominations together. Voting on GM 645, 646, and 647. Submitting for consideration and confirmation to the Kaneohe Bay Regional Council. Nominees Joseph Pickard, Jarrett Machado, and Elena Bryant for terms to expire 6/30/2029, respectively. Recommendation will be to advise and consent. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Vice Chair.
Just to confirm, 645, 646, and 647.
Yes.
Okay. Chair's recommendation on GMs 645, GM 646, GM 647 is to advise and consent with 5 members present of the Waterland Committee, of any voting with reservations, any no votes. Okay, hearing none, a measure is adopted, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Moving on to GM 738, submitting for consideration and confirmation to the Ko'olawe Island Reserve Commission gubernatorial nominee Kaipulau Makani Olono Keala for a term to expire 6/30/2030. Recommendations to advise and consent. There's no discussion. Vice Chair.
Okay. Thank you. Chair's recommendation on GM 738 is to advise and consent with 5 members present, any voting with reservations, any no votes. Okay. Measure is adopted, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And finally, on GM 651, submitting for consideration and confirmation to the King Kamehameha Celebration Commission gubernatorial nominee Zachary Bantolina for a term to expire 6/30/2029. We just want to give the State Foundation on Culture and the Arts, within which this particular commission is housed, a chance to weigh in since they did not this time. So we'll defer DM on this to March 23rd at the end of our 1 p.m. agenda here in State Capitol Conference Room 224. So with that, that is the end of our 1 o'clock agenda. And we'll go straight into our 1:05 p.m. agenda for decision making.
Mahalo.
Mahalo, everybody.
Mahalo.
Yeah. If there are any, like, you guys want to stick around for like
Yeah, tell
2
them
minutes?
to wait.
We'll be done in 2 minutes.
Yeah, good. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
So
Okay.
it's already been established now.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
You live where? You're Honolulu.
Okay. You know what, let me,
Since the session already ended.
No, 1 second.
hold on,
Just a
let's see if we
second.
can do
Just
this.
hold on. Just hold on. We can,
There's
we can,
nothing that,
no, we can,
yeah, we are. Okay.
we can go into recess. We can.
Yeah, you know what, hold up. Sit tight for a minute.
Yes.
Why don't we
Thank you.
finish we're currently on the 1:05 PM agenda for DM on several bills which were previously heard here last Monday, I believe. Up first is HB 2426 relating to state parks. Recommendation is to move this measure forward with amendments, making the effective date June 30th, 2864. So if there's no discussion on that, Vice Chair for the vote.
That's the only amendment then, Mr. Chair? That's the
Yes.
only amendment to 2426?
Yeah.
Okay, and Chair's recommendation on HB 2426, House Draft 1 to pass with amendments. Chair Lee.
Vote aye.
Vice Chair goes aye. Senator Chang is excused. Senator Lamosao.
Aye.
Senator Decord.
Aye.
Measure is adopted, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Moving on to HB 1881 relating to land use. Recommendation is to pass this with amendments. We're going to make a few amendments. Firstly, noting that passenger ropeways exclude strictly for private single home use those of a length not greater than 100 feet. Secondly, and that would be like funiculars, allowing people in wheelchairs and things like that to get to their residence. Secondly, removing the definition of mountain and references to that, such that page 1, line 6 shall read, operation of passenger ropeways shall be prohibited in all land use districts. Also adding a limited exemption for a government entity, official government recognized corporation, or official government recognized nonprofit organization, but subject to approval by the legislature. And that, just note, there's already a defective date on the measure. Any discussion, any questions? If not?
Okay.
Vice
Chair's recommendation on HB 1881, House Draft 1 to pass with amendments. Chair Lee.
Aye.
Vice Chair goes aye. Senator Chang.
Aye.
Senator Lamosao.
Aye.
Senator Decord.
Aye.
Measure is adopted, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Moving on to HB 1918 relating to taxation. Recommendation will be to move this with amendments, changing the effective date to January 1, 2028. So this can head on to the Ways and Means Committee for further consideration. If there's no discussion, Vice Chair.
Chair's recommendation on HB 1918, House Draft 1 to pass with amendments with 5 members present. Any voting with reservations? Any no votes?
No vote.
Okay. Measure is adopted, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Moving on to HB 1802 relating to conservation mitigation banks. Recommendation is to pass with amendments, just making tech amendments, noting this has a defective date in it already. If there's no discussion, Vice Chair.
This is on 1802. Chair's recommendation on HB 1802, House Draft 1 with amendments.
With amendments.
With 5 members is, sorry, let me redo that. Chair's recommendation on HB 1802, House Draft 1 is to pass with amendments with 5 members present. Any voting with reservations? Any no votes? Hearing none, Vice Chair, measure is adopted.
Thank you. And finally, on this.
Can just a moment for that.
Oh, sure.
Okay. wait, hold on. He wants this in, yeah, that's it. 1 second. Okay, what were you gonna do with this? This is the one, sorry. This is the one we had issues.
Okay, what are we gonna do? I was just gonna defect the date.
Okay, with that, okay, remember HG wanted to protect at least some of the employees, not like for future, in case they are. Is that okay if we accept their language and here it is? Because he did say that they were hoping
Oh, sure,
that
yeah.
we'd do the amendments, so if you can take a break up.
Yeah. No, we'll just do that.
Okay,
That sounds
insert
good. Yeah.
language
Okay.
agreements. Okay, thanks.
So on
Thanks so
HB
much.
2544 relating to administrative fees, the recommendation will be passing with amendments, making a couple changes. First, inserting language that limits the use of monies in the Bureau of Conveyance's special fund for qualified contractors to services provided under a contract entered into no later than December 31st, 2028, and changing the effective date to July 1st, 2026, and making other technical non-substantive amendments. So any discussion on that? If not, Vice Chair.
Okay, thank you. Chair's recommendation on HB 2544, House Draft 1 to pass with amendments with 5 members present. Any voting with reservations? Any no votes? Measure is adopted. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Chair.
Okay, so that's the end of our 1:05 PM agenda. I'll note we have not gavelled out of either of these agendas officially, so returning to the 1 o'clock agenda, which was our GMs, I'll note that we had already deferred GM 651 for decision-making till Monday. However, and we did that simply because we didn't have testimony from the State Foundation on Culture and the Arts and had missed, which is, I'm sure, my error, the nominee who was with us in the room. So while we'll still vote on Monday, we want to definitely give the nominee a chance to say hello to the committee and share thoughts while he's here, so he doesn't have to come all the way back in. And so I'd like to call forward and return to that, to GM 651, and since we missed the nominee, and give him a chance to share with the committee, unless there's any objections. Seeing none, Mr. Bentolino, let's go forward. I apologize for missing you in the back of the room.
So I've already been an intern for the King Kabembe Celebration Commission for the past couple months since August, and my duty is to preserve and perpetuate the legacy of King Kabembe as the unified king during the Hawaiian Kingdom. It is my sole goal to reinvigorate our celebration, to continue for the next 155 years, and I will do so with all my capacities and my skills, my talents, and my gifts. So, mahalo for this opportunity to speak on behalf of myself.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
Well, thank you, for being available, and you've been on the meetings anyway in the last several months, and we appreciate that. So anything that the committee should know since you've been here, and this is your first term, yeah?
This is my first term
Yeah,
today.
so anything that you've had in discussions with planning
Yeah.
for, whatever events, including the parades?
Yeah, we are currently right now in planning for our June 13th late draping ceremony, as well as our parade that will happen the following day, weekend. Right now, we're trying to secure a lot more funds because, with the King Kabembe celebration, funds has always been an issue, since it has been kind of separated from the general funds. As my goal during this term is to, what I said, reinvigorate, right? Not just with the funding, but also to have a lot more participation or spectators, right? To come out to the parade, to come out to the lei draping ceremony, because it's part of our history, it's part of our identity here in Hawaii. With the Hawaiian Kingdom being dormant to now being the state, we still have to celebrate those traditions, those legacies that have been, we still uphold. And that is my goal, and that will be my lifetime commitments, Yeah, not just with the commission, but as well as an educator, as well as a community leader in the Hui, to ensure that we focus back on the unification, the benevolence, and being pono with our citizens here of Hawaii.
So with the, in understanding it, I guess when we had to make decisions with regards to the general fund participation, is OHA still part of the contribution for sponsorship?
From time to time they are, yes.
Okay, but it hasn't been committed for an annual? Why from time to time?
It really depends on, the language that has been spoke to them and what year is it, yeah. So especially with this year being the 155th year, so we are
Sure.
asking for funding from OHA to, contribute to this legacy, yeah. I do believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that I know OHA has not in the past couple of years.
That's correct.
Yeah, but it really depends on the year, like especially when we had the 100th anniversary for the parade itself, they contributed as well. I'm sure for this year, 155 years of the celebration, that we will be asking for assistance or contribution from OHA, and probably from the Council on Foreign Advancement as well.
Have you guys, since you've been there, have OHA come to the commission and talk story, or you can have a dialogue?
Since I've been on as in the meeting since August, no.
Well, it's kind of unfortunate because, that's why OHA was established.
Yes.
To support the cultural activities, no matter what it is, but anything to do with the Hawaiian culture.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of their mission. And I'm disappointed, though, that it hasn't been consistent.
Yes.
With that said, I'll just stop in there. Maybe you can have others mention it. But will you continue the debate with them as well? And I'm sure that some of us will be speaking with them.
Oh, yes, definitely.
You'll have our
there's
support.
Been a little bit of reorg in OHA as well, with Mr. Hailama Farden being now the Senior Director of Cultural and Traditions within OHA. So I think that would be also a nice lead-in to continue the conversation, to help continue this legacy and assistance.
What about asking the other group, the Hawaiian
The
group?
Council of Native
The
Hawaiian
Council of Native, yes, Native Hawaiians.
They, since I've been in since August, no communication from them or conversation yet.
Can you make sure that's part of the ask from the commission members to help you, or, work with your directors as well in asking them for support?
Yes.
And I'm sure Mr. Lewis would be happy to contribute, but it has to be coming from you folks.
Yes,
Okay,
yes. Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for stepping up and being a part of making sure that this legacy is continued generations to come. And it's good to see that. I mean, I'm not going to speculate, but you look very young, so it looks nice. It's good that we have young generation ensuring that we continue this legacy. I've been to both Oahu and Big Island parades. And I think for the Oahu one, comparing it to Big Island, I would like to see more of the keiki in the parades. And I know that that's a lifestyle up in Big Island. I mean, you just see paniolos and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, just kind of a word of somebody who enjoys those parades. It just feels so much more culturally based, authentic Big Island, because you have the keiki over there. So if you could take that to the table, I would appreciate that. And continue to go after those organizations. I think it's important that we prioritize events like this that have such a long-lasting legacy attached to it.
Yes, definitely. And,
thank you.
And part of being a commission, I did put myself to be on the outreach and education committee within the commission to then do such of those tasks.
Good. Thank you for that. Yes, Imua, make sure. Thank you, Chair.
Any further questions? If not, thank you very much. And my sincere apologies again for missing you in the back of the room there. Okay, with that,
Mahalo and good luck. Okay, we'll see you again next week.
Yes.
with that, we're adjourned.